Now we will discuss some few examples of important insects. Let us start with cockroach. Cockroach. The scientific name is Periplaneta. Body has 3 parts: head, thorax and abdomen. It has 3 pairs of legs, 2 pairs of wings, which are called as the forewings and the hind wings. It has compound eyes, antennae. Mouth parts are biting and chewing type. The female can be very easily differentiated from the male from the presence of a structure on the posterior side of the body of the female, which is called as a ovipositor. Female has ovipositor on the posterior side, which is egg carrying apparatus. There is something called as ootheca formed, which is the egg case. Ootheca are structures in which many eggs will be present. Next we talk about lepisma, which is the silverfish. Okay, if you open old books and all, you will find suddenly some silvery kind of a insect wiggling like this amidst the pages. That is called as a silverfish. It destroys the pages of old books and all. Why it is called as silverfish? Because it has this nice silvery sheen on its body. And fish because it just swims like a fish, It's a wingless insect. It's a primitive insect. Primitive wingless insect present in old books, old clothes. Development is ametabolous, means there is no metamorphosis. Butterfly and moth. Activity for butterfly is diurnal and for moth it is nocturnal. Next, resting wings. Have you seen a butterfly when it is resting? Its wings are closed, and for a moth its wings are open. Resting wings are closed and for moth they are open. Color for butterfly is very bright, for moth it is dull. Antennae. Both have antennae, but for butterfly they are club shaped and for moth they are feathery. These are differences between the butterfly and the moth. Next we talk about honeybee, scientific name of which is Apis. A rearing of honeybees is called as apiculture, and this apiculture is done for, why apiculture is done? Honey for beeswax. Honey, as you know, is a very nutritious food, and beeswax can be used for shoe polishes, etc. Also statues and all are made of wax. You know about Madame Tussauds, don't you? Some important species that you must learn. There is Apis indica, there is Apis dorsata, it's called as the rock bee. Then there is Apis florea, which is called as the little bee. These 3 species are said to be the indigenous varieties. Indigenous meaning found in India. And then there is one more variety called as Apis mellifera, which is called as the Italian bee. And this is an exotic species. Exotic meaning imported from Italy. Of all the species, Apis mellifera is said to be the more preferred type of species. For a species to be more preferred, it has to satisfy 3 important qualities. First is that it should produce more amount of honey, which the Italian bee produces. It should show less swarming nature. Swarming is a process in which the queen bee, which is the most important honeybee of the hive, moves out from the honeycomb, taking a few worker bees along with her, and she will create a new hive elsewhere, away from the existing honeycomb. That behavior is called as swarming. The sooner she leaves, the smaller will be the size of that particular honeycomb, and it is not preferred. So the honeybee should show less swarming. So this Italian bee shows less swarming. And third feature that it should show is that it should be docile. It should not be aggressive. So all the 3 qualities are satisfied by this Italian bee, and that's why it is the more preferred species instead of the indigenous species that are found in India. These species are important for you, especially in the 12th standard syllabus. Apis mellifera is the most preferred because number 1, produces more honey. Second one, shows less swarming. Queen bee leaves the hive with worker bees. When there is less swarming, the size of the honeycomb will keep on increasing, and as such there will be more honey produced. Third quality is that it has docile nature, that is, it is non-aggressive. Okay, did you know that the honeybee colony has 3 different types of honeybees? These are called as the 3 castes of the honeybees. Honeybee colony which shows polymorphism. Polymorphism as in having different types of honeybees. 3 castes. First one is the queen bee. She is the most important honeybee, and the function of the queen bee is to lay eggs. The ploidy of the queen bee is 2N. The second type of honeybee is the worker bee. Worker bee, the ploidy is 2n. This is also a female. Queen bee is also a female. And the function of the worker bee is foraging. Foraging means collecting the nectar, nursing of the larvae, wax secretion, etc. And the third type of bee that is present in the colony are the male bees, which are called as the drones. Drones will be few, queen bee is just one. The ploidy of the drone is haploid, and the function of the drone is to fertilize the eggs which are laid by the queen. So these are the three different types of bees. There is only one queen bee per hive. Next we will see the concept of haplodiploidy and parthenogenesis, in which we will see how these different types of bees are formed. So the eggs which are laid by the queen, if the egg is fertilized eggs, the fertilized eggs ploidy will be 2n. Out of the fertilized eggs will arrive the larva. If this larva is fed on royal jelly, which is actually the secretion of hypopharyngeal glands of worker bees, then the larvae will become queen bees. If there are multiple larvae which became multiple queen bees, some of the queen bees will attack each other and only one will remain, or else the worker bees themselves will kill the other insignificant ones or the weaker ones. Only one will remain alive. If the larva feeds on royal jelly, she becomes the queen. If the larva feed on another thing called as the bee bread, is like a bread made from honey plus pollen. The larvae which feed on this bee bread, they become worker bees, which will also be 2n. As such, there will be multiple number of worker bees. This is for the fertilized eggs. So you see the fertilized eggs always become females. Then for the unfertilized eggs, unfertilized egg will be n, no? It is not fertilized. What will happen to the unfertilized egg? This is also going to get converted into a larva. This is going to become a male larva. This is going to become a drone. In other organisms, the eggs that are not fertilized remain unfertilized and then they are passed out, isn't it? They do not turn into an organism, but in the honeybees, the unfertilized eggs also get converted into living organisms. This process of conversion of unfertilized eggs into living organism is known as parthenogenesis. This process is called as parthenogenesis. Process of conversion of unfertilized eggs into living organism. Always the male bees are going to be haploid and the female bees are going to be diploid. On the basis of their ploidy, the gender will be decided. So this phenomenon is called haplodiploidy. Finally, we talk about the rat flea, scientific name of which is Xenopsilla chiopsis. The rat flea is the vector for plague disease. You know that? And it carries bacteria which causes the plague disease, which is called as Yersinia pestis. So the disease plague is actually caused by Yersinia pestis, which is carried by the rat flea. So the rat has rat flea as a parasite and the rat flea has the bacteria. So an organism has a parasite and the parasite has another parasite. This phenomenon of a parasite having another parasite onto it is called as hyperparasitism, which is a phenomenon which is displayed by this organism. Shows hyperparasitism. So the rat has rat flea and rat flea has Yersinia pestis. This phenomenon is hyperparasitism, okay, which is displayed by this one. That's why it is important. So with that we have completed with class Insecta.
In the name of Lord Mahadev, please subscribe.